here I am making the crust for the apple pie. This is about 3.5 cups of flour for 2 pie crusts. And what's in here right now is 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 3.5 cups of flour, and 2.5 sticks of butter. Now you can use 50-50 butter oil if you want, like baking oil or whatever kind of oil you use for baking. I don't know, whatever I use. I use this soft flour. You can use Crisco or whatever, but some oils are better for you than other oils. You know, and some of my flour is whole wheat flour. So basically you got just butter and flour. And then what you do is you put a little water into it until it turns into a dough, ice water. Probably 3 to 5 tablespoons per cup of flour probably. So we'll probably end up putting 10 or 15 tablespoons of ice water in here to make it into a dough. And Mom is coring and peeling the apples. Okay, and here's my crust. It's all finished. I went ahead and put the 3 tablespoons, or I put about 10 tablespoons of water in it, and it made a good dough. So it's got the 3.5 cups flour, 1/4 teaspoon salt. It's got 1.5 sticks butter and 1/4 of a cup of oil. And that makes a real good dough. Just put the butter into the flour first, and mix that together with a mixer. It makes kind of like a crumbly dough, and then the water goes in. And then you chill it. There's a quick way to chill it, and there's a slow way to chill it. The slow way is to put it in the fridge for 3 or 4 hours. The quick way is to stick it in the freezer for 10 minutes. Okay, here's the pie crust, the bottom anyways. I like to use glass pie dishes because they work better than the metal ones, or aluminum or whatever. They just cook a lot better. And as you can see, my fingerprints in it all over. I'm not too keen on pretty baking. I'm keen on making good tasting baking. So if it's a little bit crumbly, as you can see, the dough's a little crumbly, that doesn't matter. It's all about the taste. And just roll it out big enough to fit in the glass, into the pie dish. And this is kind of hard to do one-handed. Just put it in there and piece it together. It's that simple. And this dough that I explained earlier is a really crumbly dough. It's really, really good. It's really tasty. It might look like, oh man, look at this mess, but I tell you, it's good. So you just do what you can and stick it together, and we're going to get to the filling here in a minute. Alright, now we're working on the apples and the filling. This is 12 apples, 6 per pie, and I put 2 cap's not very big, see my thumb, of apple cider vinegar, organic, it's all natural, straight into the apples. You can use lemon, or you can use the apple cider vinegar as a substitute. And frankly, I can't tell the difference. So whatever's closer, or more handy, or whatever we have is what I use. And basically, this is the filling I talked about before. 1.5 cups sugar, 6 teaspoons flour. It doesn't matter. Measurements don't have to be exact. 1.5, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and about 1/4 teaspoon of ginger and nutmeg. That goes straight over the apples, and you mix it in. I've only got one hand, But I'll mix that in, and then we'll show you how we do the top crusts. Okay, hey, we're back. And I put the filling. Come on in here. Cameraman's shy, or should I say woman. The filling is in the crust. And, you know, after it bakes, it'll caramelize and everything. That filling is a dry filling, but it all caramelizes together. And what you do is, after you stick it in your bottom crust, is you dab it with butter just a little bit. You can use oil too, the same oil I explained before, but you know, as a substitute. So whatever way you like better, whatever you got around, works just fine. So what you do is you dab it with butter, and this just helps it give it some good flavors and helps it caramelize and all that good stuff. And so you put a little bit on there like that, spread it around, you know. Not much, I don't know, probably
that looks like a lot.
teaspoon or tablespoon.
Teaspoon is better, that's like...
It'll melt in. Alright, and the crust, it's alright if it crumbles on you. You just place it right over the top like that and mash the sides with the bottom crust. It's that simple.
You're too good for your own good.
Show the product, Mother. We're baking pies, we're not baking.
You're baking pies. I don't know how to bake.
Alright. Just like that. And these pies are really good. I make them like once a week now. Oh yeah. So this is one pie pretty much done. You know, you can do whatever you want on the edge to make it look pretty. But
there will be no difference.
that's how I do it, and then just give it a little pat, get it nice and packed, make sure the apples are packed. And I kind of like to put the crust down a little bit, you know. And then what you do is you brush it with a little egg white, and then put some slices in it so it doesn't bubble up. And I'm going to make the crust for the other one here in a minute. So we'll sign off for now, and we'll be back in a minute. Here's the pie crusts with the tops on them. I got a little egg white brushed on the top with a little sugar sprinkled on top, and I make slices in it, you know, so it doesn't bubble up like where you have apples cuts in it, you know, normal cuts. And they go in the oven for 35 to 45 minutes on about 375 until the top gets about golden brown. You may see little juice bubbling through the cracks, and the top's golden brown. That's when you know they're done. When the pies are in the oven and you're sitting around waiting, you don't have to. This is the perfect time to make some whipped cream to put on the pies and make them all that much better. Oops, too much. And you know, you can use heavy whipping cream like I got here, or regular whipping cream. Doesn't really matter, whatever you prefer. But the pies are so good, you know, there isn't really much of a difference between heavy and regular. You can't really tell, so whatever you prefer. And I just do the whipping cream plain. I don't put any sugar or anything like that in it. You know, because the pies are already really good, they're really sweet, and they're already so rich that you don't need any more sugar. So it's really good like this. You just whip it up, put it in there, whip it up. It's so simple. Better than that stuff in a can. That stuff in the can is so bad for you. You know, there's preservatives and other, you know, things you can't pronounce. You know that's not good for you. So I leave it this way. It's better for you without the sugar. And those pies will come out of the oven in probably another 15-20 minutes. And we'll check them out. Here's the 2 apple pies. Nice and golden brown. Fresh out of the oven. Look at that, Mom.
Oh, look great. Oh my goodness sakes. I can't believe my son can bake pies like this. It's unbelievable. Amazing.
So, they just came out of the oven. They need to sit about 20 minutes. They'll still cook because they're so hot, you know, for 20 minutes until they cool down and caramelize and thicken up and all that. And you can see right here, it's kind of juicy. And that's just how you like it.
They smell so good. It's absolutely amazing.
We'll slice it, put some whipped cream on it, and you'll see the finished product here in a minute.